Hey everyone, it's Brit Johnson with BossLady News, and you know I had to get together with my girl Tayla because she talks about the controversial issues that are going on in society, and I needed to do this, so I ran over to Tayla's house, and Rachel Dolezal, I believe I'm saying that correctly, and I agree with her being unapologetic. So Miss Tayla is going to be slipping her way into the seat, and we're going to be discussing how all of you are reacting to finding out that this woman, this white woman, considers herself black and was fighting a good fight at the NAACP for people of color. So here she comes. I know she got something juicy to say. I know she do. And it begins. So, Miss Tayla, what do you think? What's your take on this? I mean, myself, I had to tell you. I'm like, I know I was gonna say this, and I thought about everything before I came over. I agree. I feel like this shouldn't have been such a big deal. There are so many times we see black females out there that are perpetuated as white women. Nobody says anything, and they're not doing anything positive for the community. This white woman checked off white and black. I'd love to find out more in depth why she considers herself black, but she does. And she started working for the NAACP for people of color that once her cover was blown, they wanted to get rid of her. So who's going to step into this white woman's position? Not that I'm saying we need a white savior. That's not actually what happened. She became black to be a part of this movement, this culture, this that she immersed herself into. I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't. I really don't. Most people would say I sound like I'm white until they meet me. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal.
And you are as connected to your African roots as anybody else.
Yes, ma'am.
So, first and foremost, welcome to my home. It's late.
Thank you for having me.
This is
going to be our new thing. I'm just going to run over here when there's a topic that we need to discuss because...
And I'm going to be in semi-pajamas with my hair looking a mess.
Yes, this was very last minute.
Whew, so we did talk about this morning, and one of the things that I think is important...
Wake up with Tayla Andre every morning. Wake up.
Weekdays, Monday through Friday, 5 to 7 a.m. One of the things I think is important to first recognize is the fact that she's not the first. She's not going to be the last. Black Like Me, it wasn't even written by a black man. It was a white man who put on a black face. He was just like, you know what, I think these black people are really... You know, they're crazy. Where are they getting all this racism from? Then he put on a black face and he was like, yo, they were on to something. Because this entire time that I was black, I got all of this racism and criticism and hatred and anger, and I'm a white man. So, also, many people don't know that two Irish twins, also part of Boston, 1978 to 1988, checked off affirmative action, we are black, even though they were Irish from South Boston with Irish last names.
Wow.
Irish parents.
Wow.
Worked 10 years under the guise of being African American twins, even though they had blonde hair, blue eyes, Irish last names.
Wow.
So there are 4 others, can't even think of them. I believe 2 are politicians, and I attribute this knowledge to the Huffington Post. They put out the 6 individuals that came out prior to Rachel that were under the understanding that they were African American. I think Rachel's a little different. I don't think it was more so for a lot of people like, oh, she did it so she could be the president of NAACP chapter. No, she went to school posing as a black woman. She was adopted, or her parents adopted 4 African children. Or they looked African. They might have just been black, but they looked African. 4 black little boys. And you are a white girl, and then your brother, her brother looks mixed. Her brother looks like he may have something in him. You know, like, there's a backstory. She didn't wake up one day and say, listen, I'm a black woman and I'm going to sit here and take everybody's black jobs. No, like, I really believe that this is an identity crisis for her, or we see it as an identity crisis. You know, we said to Caitlyn Jenner, oh my God, that's so brave of you to go ahead and do your gender identity. But, you know, Rachel, we're going to condemn you for wanting to reach out and help. And I like the fact you said, like, who's going to take her place? In all honesty, who's going to do the work? Who's going to put in the grassroots that she has already established? Nobody. Nobody. Yeah. Not even our own community are pushing and working as hard as this white woman did. And we've seen the videos, are you African American? I don't understand the question. She really doesn't get the question. She thinks she's a black woman.
Yeah, and for all intents and purposes, there are many people out there that I've had the conversation with about being African American or being black American. I choose to consider myself black American because I've had the black American experience as opposed to the Africans that are coming into the United States now that would look at myself included and say, you know, where are you from? And I'm American. I've had a black American experience. I haven't had a foreign person's experience. Yes.
I can get that.
And so that's why I consider myself black American, because
the 6 degrees of separation, she probably is black.
Yes. And that was part of my argument. I'm like, for someone to believe something so strongly that they would live the lifestyle and everything that you have to go through being a black woman, she has locks, like all of those things, you have to relate to that in some place in your life or in your past lives. You were that. And I think it's wrong for someone who wants to be a part of uplifting a community in a way that she did. She didn't want to be a white woman uplifting the community. She considered herself black, and now people are taking that away from her. Again, you brought up the
I would have never, ever left my position. And the fact that she was unapologetically who she was and what she stood for, she should have never left that position.
I don't think she should have. In fact, I think she should be reinstated, honestly.
Honorary.
Yeah.
Reinstated. Absolutely. And I think everybody else. Now, the one problem I do have, and now that I say this, I kind of question myself in the same breath, but we have this equality issue across the nation. If Caitlyn decided to be a female, shouldn't she be able to go into a woman's bathroom? Shouldn't she be able to go to a woman's locker room, even though she was born a man? And today, many cities, many states say, yes, Caitlyn can go into a woman's bathroom. So, should Rachel have attended Howard University on the scholarship and on the grants under the notion of being a black woman and getting all of the aid as a black woman? Should she have to pay that back? That was one of the things that a lot of callers said.
I say no.
Okay. And that's why, so earlier I was like, yeah, automatically, she should have to pay that back, because there could have been, you know, a single African American, black American female that could have used that money to go to Howard. But at the same token, if Caitlyn can go into a female's bathroom even though he was born a man, shouldn't Rachel, in her own right, identifying as a black woman, be able to assume those same rights? So that's a very difficult question to answer.
But when you look at it, again, I feel like it's different if she posed as a black woman, got benefits, and then became the person that she was born. Whereas she didn't.
Okay.
It's like she embodied a black woman. She started working for Black Power. She worked for the NAACP, which originally was started it was originally started by black people and Jewish people. So there've always been white people working through the NAACP to help with the movement and the empowerment and the betterment of African Americans.
One black female and two black men.
And two black men, yes. So the majority of the people that started the NAACP were white. Once again, who's going to step into her place and take the responsibilities that she decided to take on?
You know, I have to make a comment about these Ask Rachels. The memes going all over the
goodness.
place. Yo, whoever has all the time in the world to make these Ask Rachels, you need to, yo, I swear, it's a great pastime. So I don't do reality TV, but those Ask Rachels are definitely my guilty pleasure.
Alright, we're gonna have to see a few of those, okay?
My favorite one is the one that's just like Will Smith, Fresh of Bel-Air. How many fights did he get into before his mom sent him to
Bel-Air?
I got in one little focus.
Yeah.
Yo, me and Anari were watching that today. We're looking at it today, and he knew all of them. I was like, how do you know these? He was like, I guess because I'm black. And I thought it was funny for the 12-year-old to be able to pick up on that. And it's just like, he was like, I wonder if I ask my white friends, would they know the answer?
Yeah.
It's a pretty good question. Would they know the answer? Would they know that culture? Sort of like the pop culture. It's like...
And it's a dying breed. Just, I guess we're bouncing into another topic right now, but it's a dying breed. Good TV.
Oh, gosh.
Good TV that the children can watch with the adults. How
about good TV adults can watch with children?
Yes. I don't watch that much TV. Maybe that's why I said it the other way.
Well, we don't even have cable in this house.
Yeah.
And you just luckily walked in the house when we actually have a flat screen. We just had a fat back. That's
I'm special. I'm so special.
I wish Netflix was sponsoring this right now. Hint, hint. But Netflix definitely has some oldies and goodies of A Different World and the Doogie Howser, Cosby.
Good, positive, clean TV.
Taking it back to the 80s, taking it back to the 70s. Good Times is next.
What a generation that was, too.
Sanford and Son. I know. I know. So you don't have to spend $179 a month on cable television. How about you take that money, invest it into your children's college fund, because they're not all going to be able to get Rachel scholarship.
Or after school programs where they can learn activities.
Oh, yeah.
There's not enough of that happening. Moms, dads, definitely get your kids into some kind of activities if you can. Financially, it's sometimes a burden, but it's important. Going back to kind of Rachel, her being involved in certain activities within school, being involved with the family situation that she came from, that's why she became the person that she was. And I don't
So you're all for Rachel?
I am for her. I am definitely for her because, again, it's not like she was, I mean, she embodied black woman. She's like, straight blonde hair? No.
You know what I heard?
Pale skin? No.
She could have asked for Angela Davis's half-sister.
There's a lot of people that are saying she looked like she was black.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not too far off myself. Like, when it comes in complexion, a lot of us aren't too far off. And what is it? I believe I learned today, in order to completely take the black DNA out, it has to be 16 degrees of, or 16 generations of completely whitewashing the DNA for you to get the black out. Rachel, if you're listening, get your job back, baby.
Yeah.
Get your job back, because you should have never stepped down. If you were as wholehearted and gun-ho and believed in who you are, nobody should have been able to make you step down, ever. And I believe in the work that she's done for the community. The community believes in the work that she's done in their community. So who are we across the globe, across America, because I don't think anybody else really cares about this. Who are we in America to even pass judgment?
And I'd like to know, who are the people? Please comment. Who are the people that feel as if what she had done was so wrong that she should have stepped down?